We're going to continue our reading of Benjamin Franklin's A Modest Inquiry into the Nature and Necessity of a Paper Currency, dated April 3rd, 1729, beginning on page 30. For many ages, those parts of the world which are engaged in commerce have fixed upon gold and silver as the chief and most proper materials for this medium, they being in themselves valuable metals for their fineness, beauty, and scarcity. By these, particularly by silver, it has been usual to value all things else, but as silver itself is of no certain permanent value, being worth more or less according to its scarcity or plenty. Therefore it seems requisite to fix upon something else, more proper to be made a measure of values, and this I take to be labor. By labor may the value of silver be measured as well as other things. As, suppose one man employed to raise corn, while another is digging and refining silver. At the year's end, or any other period of time, the complete produce of corn and that of silver are the natural price of each other. And if one be 20 bushels, and the other 20 ounces, then an ounce of that silver is worth the labor of raising a bushel of that corn. Now if by the discovery of some nearer, more easy or plentiful mines, a man may get 40 ounces of silver as easily as formerly he did 20, and the same labor is still required to raise 20 bushels of corn, then 2 ounces of silver will be worth no more than the same labor of raising 1 bushel of corn, and that bushel of corn will be as cheap at 2 ounces as it was before at 1. Ceteris paribus. Thus the riches of a country are to be valued by the quantity of labor its inhabitants are able to purchase, and not by the quantity of silver and gold they possess, which will purchase more or less labor, and therefore is more or less valuable, as is said before, according to its scarcity or plenty. As those metals have grown much more plentiful in Europe since the discovery of America, so they have sunk in value exceedingly. For, to instance, in England, formerly 1 penny of silver was worth a day's labor, but now it is hardly worth the 1/6 part of a day's labor, because not less than 6 pence will purchase the labor of a man for a day in any part of that kingdom, which is wholly to be attributed to the much greater plenty of money now in England than formerly. And yet perhaps England is in effect no richer now than at that time, because as much labor might be purchased or work got done of almost any kind for 100 then as will now require or is now worth 600. In the next place, let us consider the nature of banks emitting bills of credit, as they are at this time used in Hamburg, Amsterdam, London, and Venice. This is going to be completed today, 5 lines down on page 31.